Oh, what is going on, everyone? Jim here, RCAD. Yes, I'm a little bit behind the times here, but I finally stepped up and purchased a set of those Traxxas Trx4 tracks, the all-terrain track set for the old Bronco. Today is Monday, November 11th, 2019. We've got about 8 inches of snow on the ground up here in the Great White North, and I figured it was a perfect time to install a set of those tracks onto the old Bronco and see exactly how good they do in the deep snow. So before we get started, everyone, we're going to be doing two separate videos on this one. We're going to be doing an install video number 1 on this BEC kit onto the Bronco, and then we're going to do a separate unboxing video, install video with the tracks themselves onto the truck itself. Before we get started, everyone, let's take a quick look at the back of that track box and see what some of the recommended items are for installing those onto your vehicle. Walking up to our box here, give her a little quick spin. There we go. Looking around on the back here at our recommended items. Now, this is one little problem that I have with Traxxas, everyone, is not giving everybody enough information. All right, so optimal performance, the following accessories are recommended. They recommend this 2255 brushless steering servo. Well, gee, Traxxas, how much torque does it put out? What's the voltage? Or a 2250 coreless steering servo. Once again, how much torque? What's the voltage? 2262 BEC complete kit, we have that, but once again, how much voltage does it put out, Traxxas? Nothing listed here. 8247X metal servo horn. What kind of servo horn is that? What's that made out of? Well, you know, I looked on Traxxas's website, and it looks like it's made out of pewter. So it says metal, but it doesn't tell you what kind of metal it is. I'd rather have steel or something, but I have an aluminum one on my truck, so we're not too worried about that. BEC kit, everyone, I do have that purchased. One quick question, though, Traxxas, is how much voltage is that BEC kit putting out? It says absolutely nothing about that on Traxxas's website, and it says absolutely nothing in the instructions for the BEC as far as what the voltage output is. So going off of everything here, everyone, I went on to Traxxas's website and did a little bit of homework here. Their 2255 brushless steering servo. Once again, Traxxas, you need to put this on the box. That servo, everyone, is putting out 400 inch-ounces of torque on 6 volts of electricity. Says nothing about 7 volts, says nothing about less than 6 volts. 6 volts of electricity. The 2250 coreless steering servo puts out 330 inch-ounces of torque on 6 volts of electricity. Once again, Traxxas, you need to put the stuff on the box. So nothing about less than 6 volts, nothing about more than 6 volts. Judging off of that both of these servos run on 6 volts of electricity, I'm assuming that this 2262 BEC complete kit puts out 6 volts of electricity. That's a concern for me, everyone, because I have a Savox servo inside my truck. The servo in my vehicle can run on 7 volts of electricity, or it can run on 6 volts of electricity. So that is why this is a concern for me on how much voltage that puts out. Once again, Traxxas says absolutely nothing about it, and they say absolutely nothing in this BEC kit. Once again, I opened it up already. I went through the instructions. Absolutely nothing listed in there as far as how much voltage that puts out. Once again, it is a concern for me, everyone, because I have a Savox SW1210 steering servo in my vehicle. That servo puts out 444 inch-ounces of torque on 7 volts of electricity, and it puts out 287 inch-ounces of torque on 6 volts of electricity. So if the BEC is putting out 6 volts, I might not have quite enough torque for turning those tracks left to right. Once again, slight concern if that is the case, everyone. If it is only putting out 6 volts of electricity, we'll hook it up, we'll run it for a little while, and then I'll probably end up getting that 400 inch-ounce servo for this vehicle, and then pull the servo out and put it into my TF2, which is in bad need of a stronger steering servo. So it would be a win-win ultimately if that is the way it works out. So let's get started, everyone. We're going to get the body off the truck right now, and we'll start wiring up this BEC kit. So here we go, everyone. We have all the contents from our BEC kit opened up here. We have the BEC itself, some extra foam pads, our new receiver box cover here, a little wire harness, some silicone grease, our new gasket, a zip tie, and a couple of screws. Turning around and looking at our instructions, looking at our contents here, we seem to have everything: our battery eliminator circuit, our receiver box cover, vine plug, wire clamp, O-ring, our foam pads, a wire harness, a 2.5 by 8 millimeter cap screw, 2 of those, 1 tube of silicone grease, 1 zip tie. Tools required are a 2 millimeter hex wrench, some side cutters to remove and trim some zip ties. So we're going to get started here, everyone. Our first step is going to be removing our 3 screws right here on top of our existing receiver box cover. So we'll get those off and start to working on our project here. So that is what we're working on currently, guys and gals. We're going to start pulling out these 3 screws right here. We might as well skip another step and remove these other 2 screws so we can get this cover off as well. So step number 1, pulling all these screws out. Alrighty, everyone, we have our receiver box cover off, we have our wire clamp cover off, and we are moving on to step 2, which is peel the backing from the L-shaped foam pad and secure it to the smooth surface portion on the bottom of the BEC. Kind of laughing about that little spelling error there. Alright, so everyone, this is our L-shaped pad right here, this little guy. And here is our BEC, and conveniently it has this smooth portion right here on the back edge that is shaped just like that L-shaped pad. So we're going to go ahead and secure that pad directly to the bottom of the BEC. So here we go, everyone. We have our foam pad attached to the bottom of the BEC. You definitely want to make sure you pay attention to what side of this double-sided tape that you're peeling off, so to make sure that you have this pad sitting on here in the right orientation. And you want to get it stuck on there right the first time, because there is no adjusting after you get it on there. All right, everyone, we're moving on to step 3 here in our instructions, and that is to remove the backing from the other side of the foam pad and install the BEC onto the receiver as shown. So as we're looking here into this figure, which is very hard to see, this is the BEC. It's sitting right on top of the receiver, right over top of the telemetry control unit, or telemetry control plug-in area. So essentially, everyone, we're going to be resting right on this back edge where it says Traxxas Link and across the front here, and that is going to be sitting right in this area. The reason for that thick pad is that so we can sit above that telemetry control plug. So there you go, everyone. We have our BEC sitting on top of our receiver. It should look something like that with a little bit of room to move around. Next step is running our power line from our BEC through the receiver box cover, which is pretty easy to do. You want to run it through the bottom half of the BEC cover and out through this hole right here per instructions. Next step, everyone, would be to loosen up the battery tray, because they want you to remove the battery tray and run this BEC wire right through here over to the ESC on the other side, which would be the next step. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. My driver, everyone, is actually glued to the battery tray and also glued to the top of the ESC, so I can't exactly remove this portion for running that wire. I'm going to try to feed it in underneath this way. If not, I'm hoping I have enough wire to go around the outside. But for everyone else here, we'll take a peek at the instructions for you guys. So here we are looking at the battery tray once again, removing these 2 front screws right here, which are right up here on the front of the battery tray, pulling out these 2 guys. A matter of lifting that battery tray out of the way, feeding your wire between the 2 shift servos there for your transmission or your transfer differential lock servos. Right now there is a zip tie on your transmission. They want you to cut that zip tie and install the one that came with the kit to reattach your wire. You don't want to have it too snug, just a little bit snug. You want to allow a little bit of movement for the wires. It's basically just to hold the wires in place. And then you're going to be running that wire across to the ESC. They want you to remove these 2 screws on either side of the ESC, pull up your ESC, and run that power wire right underneath this corner of the ESC, reattaching the ESC down, basically holding that wire in place so it's not moving around anywhere. Once again, I'm probably going to be skipping these steps right here, 5, 6, and 7, just because I cannot remove my battery tray. But we'll get that taken care of here and move on to step number 8. All right, everyone. Well, my power wire has been routed around like most of my other power wires just because I cannot go underneath that battery tray. So we're going to go ahead here and look at number 7 here. Step 7 is where we left off at. Get the focus in here. There we go. Loosen the screws in the ESC and route the BEC power wire behind and under the ESC. See wiring diagram. Retighten the screws. Plug the red female connector from the BEC power wire into the red male connector from the ESC. Note: use the supplied Y harness if another accessory is already plugged into the ESC. So we already have another accessory plugged into the ESC, everyone. We have all our lights plugged in, our rock lights, and our other lights over here. So I have a couple wires already coming off of the ESC, so we're going to have to use that supplied Y harness so we can tap in, which is right here is our main ESC connector, we're going to tap into this one right here, and we're going to use this supplied wire harness right here to get the job done. So here's our wire going to our battery eliminator circuit. Here is the wire that we need to plug into, and we're going to go ahead and get this plugged in. For everyone else there who was running your wires underneath your electronic speed controller, here's where they were talking about with that. You'll be pulling out this screw on this side over yonder right there, and this screw over here to lift this ESC up, and they want you to run this wire right here underneath the ESC, just like the main power wire for the ESC is ran. So that's how you want to do it, or how they want you to do it. I'm doing mine slightly different here. So we'll go ahead and get this plugged in to our main wire right here and get our wire harness hooked up and go on to our next step. Alrighty everyone, we have our little pigtail connector here, our wire harness hooked up to the main ESC right there. So we got that male ESC portion plugged into the female portion of this little Y connector, and right now this little jumper wire that's hanging off the back, I'm going to use this male portion to plug into this female portion, go into my light switch for my LED lights, and then the main portion of the wire, the main run, how it comes out to this plug, I'm going to use to plug back into the battery eliminator circuit over here. So at least all the main power, technically running off the main feed, and not that it really matters, is going to the BEC, and we've got this other little pigtail here going into our LED lights. So in my case, I'm looking a little something like this. We've got our ESC coming into the BEC, going out to the BEC over there on the other side, and our LED on-off light switch coming in off this other end of the pigtail. So that all should still be working correctly, and it's just a matter right now of hiding all of these horrible looking wires that are just dangling about everywhere. So after having your power wire all hooked up there, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to unplug channel 2 from channel 2 down here, which is actually the third slot in right back here. So you want to unplug that one right there, and you're going to take this plug and plug it into the BEC right here on top, right there. So that's going to slide into here. And then you're going to take the wire from the BEC, this guy right here, and you're going to plug it back into channel 2, where the original one came from. So that is our next step right now, is unplugging channel 2 from the receiver itself, plugging it into the BEC, and then taking the plug from the BEC and plugging it back into channel 2. Well, alright everyone, we have our ESC plugged into our BEC and our BEC plugged into our receiver. As far as taking off this other wire hold down, everyone, that wasn't necessarily necessary, so you can go ahead and put that back on. As far as replacing this O-ring, if your O-ring is in good shape, no dirt or debris on there, maybe you haven't had it off too many times, and you're probably okay with that. I mean, you can replace it with the one that they supplied, but if it's just okay, then it's pretty much okay. Our next step, everyone, is going to be applying our remaining foam pads onto our receiver box cover for where this power wire is going to be running out. So we have one small pad right down here, everyone, this little guy right here, and we're going to take that and install that right along this inner edge, right along in here. So that's going to go across here, and then we have one more pad down here, this guy right here, and that's going to go on the back edge of this new hold down clamp. That's going to be laying in right here on this flat portion, and that purpose is for sealing this new wire as it comes out of the top of the receiver box. So that is where that silicone grease is going to come in handy. We're going to apply that foam here, and that silicone grease would be a small bead across to keep any kind of water out when you put that top clamp back on there. So next step, everyone, is to take that small little piece of foam and apply it right here along this front edge, and take this other fatter portion of foam and apply it on the back edge of this hold down clamp. So we'll get that taken care of. Well, alright everyone, we have our foam pads attached to the top half of the receiver box cover here where that wire is coming out. We have our new hold down clamp foam piece attached on and put in place, so we're all good to go with that. It's just a matter of reattaching our new receiver box cover back over top of the receiver using our original screws, and then we'll be using the 2 new screws that were provided and a bead of silicone grease to put our cap on for this wire hold down. So we'll go ahead here and get this receiver box cover reattached and then move on to our wire hold down. Alright everyone, we got all that stuff reattached. Our receiver box cover is back in place. Just a matter of finding a good location for your wire routing on which way you want to have it coming out of the box here. I'm probably going to run mine either out this far side right over here, which is kind of where it wants to go. So I think I'm going to put it right here. And now it's just a matter of getting into that little bit of silicone grease that they gave you with the package. I'm actually going to leave this wrapped up and use a little bit of dielectric grease and spread it across this piece of foam. You want a thin layer underneath this and a thin layer across the top before reattaching our hold down clamp on top of this with our new screws that they have supplied. And we'll get this all reattached and snug down to make this as watertight as possible. So basically a little something like that. Everyone, I put a thin bead of silicone grease right along underneath that and another thin bead across the top half of this foam piece. And we're going to join these two together and get this all clamped down. And that is what we should be looking like after we're all said and done, everyone, with everything being wired up in the right position. Our wires coming out. Make sure you do not over tighten these screws, everyone. Just snug these down. You want to just make this nice and snug. You don't want to strip out those holes. Next step, everyone, is going to be, in my case, cleaning up some of this wire mess that I have left over, which you're probably going to have a lot of leftover wire as well. If you ran it from the other side, you're going to have a whole bunch of wire left over on this end. Traxxas is actually throwing out a little good idea here with this little pigtail going on here at the end of the wire. So we're going to put a little pigtail on what's left down here. And that'll take care of some of the excess slop. So I'll give you guys a quick little how-to on how to go about that little trick. And that should clean up some of your excess wire slop. So here you go, everyone. Little cheater on one way to get those wires wrapped up into a pigtail. Use a screwdriver or something of that nature and wrap that wire from the base there all the way around the screwdriver. As much wire wrapped up as you're going to need for your pigtail. Once you get it relatively snug like so, you can pull the screwdriver out of it, and now you have a little pigtail there going on. And there we go, everyone. Little slight pigtail here. I am running my wires through the existing frame, wrapping around a small zip tie over here on our little distribution block, and mine is all set up. So I have a test battery in here, not my normal battery, just something to test to make sure this is going to work. So we'll get this plugged in and make sure that everything is working correctly. We got her all turned on, plugged in, grabbing the steering wheel. Yep. Seems to be working pretty good. As a matter of fact, that Savox servo seems like it's putting out a little bit more power than it did previously. So that is going to do it for now, everyone. Very much appreciated for y'all sticking around and watching this BEC install video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'm always more than willing to help you guys out with any kind of questions. Stick around for the next video, and that will be the install of the Traxxas themselves. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.